In this video, I'm going to go through how to draw angles, and the equipment you're going to need is a pencil, a ruler and a protractor. Let's start by looking at how to draw an angle of 32 degrees. You can see that I've started by drawing a straight line on the screen. You can do this using a pencil and a ruler. Now you could draw that line pointing in any particular direction, but for this example I've got the line horizontal and I've put a cross on the right hand side. That's because that's the point that I'm going to use for my centre of rotation. So the next job is to move the protractor so that the centre of the protractor lines up on top of the cross. Now we have to decide which scale we're using. Well, can you see that the line that I've drawn matches up with the 0 on the outer scale of the protractor? And so it's the outer scale that I'm going to use to turn through an angle of 32 degrees. I need to track round 10, 20, 30, 2 degrees. Now, when you do this yourself, I don't want you to draw a red line there. That's just so that I can show you what I'm doing. What you're going to do is create a marker at 32 degrees. And notice how the marker is pushing out away from the protractor. That's really important. Because if you do the marker sideways, when you take the protractor away, you won't be able to see exactly where 32 degrees is. So not like this, rather like this. Then you're going to move the protractor away, get your ruler and pencil out again, and connect the dash to the centre of the rotation. And now you just need to mark where the angle is using an arc. Now I said that there were lots of ways to draw this angle, and there certainly are. I'm just going to show you one other. What if I started with a horizontal line like I did last time, but this time I work with the centre of rotation on the left? Well, now when I put my protractor matching centre to centre, now you can see that it wouldn't be sensible for me to read from the outer scale because that one's at 180. I'd have to read from the inner scale, which is the one starting at 0. So now I've got to track round 10, 20, 32 degrees, and I'm going to put a marker there. Now we move the protractor away, connect the centre of the rotation to the dash mark we made, and label on the arc and the 32 degrees. So this is another way to have drawn the angle of 32 degrees. It's the same size angle, just drawn in a different position on the page. Now to finish off, we're going to look at one different sized angle. We're going to look at drawing an angle of 129 degrees, and this time I've drawn the starting line in an even more unusual position. So let's look at how we would do this one. Centre match up to centre, but at the moment my line isn't starting at 0 on the outer scale or the inner scale. So what I need to do is rotate my protractor. I could rotate it either way, but I'm going to go this way until the 0 from the outer scale matches up to my line. Now I can track round 129 degrees. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 129. Now, as I mentioned before, we don't want to actually draw on the line I've done. That's just so that I can show you where I was counting. Instead, we're going to put a marker with our pencil. Then we move the protractor out of the way and connect from the centre to the dash. Draw on an arc so that we know which way we turned, and label on 129 degrees.